What happens when you mix one of the greatest directors of all time, a near-flawless cast, and a great script? A 5 Academy Award-winning movie named Saving Private Ryan. That's what. Saving Private Ryan begins with the dramatic scene of an old Private Ryan returning to Europe to see the graves of the men who died to get him home. This scene is very powerful, especially taking into account the fact that we haven't learned anything about this character yet. And although this scene is great, the movie really begins when we see the men storming the beaches of Normandy. Here, we meet Captain Miller, played by Tom Hanks, and the rest of his squadron. Well, the ones that survived at least. Miller and the rest of his squad are sent on a mission to find Private James Ryan to bring him home. However, along the way they are faced with many challenges that threaten their mission and their lives. I've always been a history junkie, especially when it comes to major conflicts. So you can only imagine how high I hold World War II on my list of favorite subjects. You can also imagine how critical I am when a movie based on it is inaccurate. And although Spielberg does not disappoint, the story isn't really the strong point in this movie. Yes, it's good, but it's not amazing on any level. As far as the storyline goes, it's pretty choppy, and suffers due to an oversized cast. Yet this can't take away from the fact that this movie is amazing. What it does do right, it does very well. Whether it be the soldiers drowning before they reach the shore, the ocean filled red with blood, or how the soldiers reacted to the horror on the beach. It was easy to tell that there was a lot of effort put in every little detail. The dialogue was also handled very well. This added to the story, and never once took away from the experience. Both banter when the soldiers were fighting, and when they weren't. It really gave you a sense of the time period of the movie, and each character's dialogue gave them life. All that aside, easily my favorite thing about this movie were the death scenes, because they really made me feel uncomfortable. And that's what you should feel like when you're watching a death. That's what these men went through, like when one of the soldiers died and he was pleading for his mother, or when another was slowly stabbed in the heart by a Nazi. I wanted to look away, but these scenes were too overwhelmingly captivating. In a way, these deaths made up for the oversized cast, because of the detail put into these scenes. Ironically, giving life to the characters that are dying. However, there never really is a point to the story. The cast of Saving Private Ryan was great. Every actor seemed to fit their character perfectly, except for 1 or 2 cliché characters. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Brooklyn boy. Yet even with this cast, it couldn't make up for the fact that it was just too big. I understand, this is a war film, and people need to die. Therefore, you need a big cast to knock off some of the characters. But I still feel like we should have seen more of Captain Miller and Private Ryan. On the other hand, for what the cast had to work with, they did a really good job. There was 2 characters that really caught my attention though. Adam Goldberg and Giovanni Ribisi. Both of these actors really brought life to their characters in a way the other cast didn't. Not only that, but it's because of 2 scenes in particular that starred them that really made me fall in love with this movie. And they really showed through their characters the nature of war. I don't know what it is about Spielberg. He understands visually how the movie should be portrayed and still adds his own flair. And The Tone is a perfect example of that. Everything is dirty. Whether it be the dialogue, the costumes, the towns, the fighting, even the deaths. Everything is gross, and that is war. Yet, in the chaos of this war movie, Spielberg somehow manages to stun us with his beautiful camera work. However, while the camera work is amazing in some parts, sometimes the shaky cam gets overused a little. The Blu-ray quality is superb. The sound, amazing. Yes, visually it's a little bit grainy, but I think that's on purpose. Other than the shaky cam, the presentation was almost perfect, except for one other problem: the score. It was nice, but it was cliche. It would have been really nice to hear something original. In summary, Saving Private Ryan is an amazing film, and it completely deserves its 5 Academy Awards. Yes, there are a few flaws, but they nowhere near outweigh the strengths. While Saving Private Ryan may not have had the greatest story ever told, it tells something that many other war films seem to skip over or are afraid to touch on. If you ask me, Saving Private Ryan is definitely worth your dollar. Saving Private Ryan gets an 8.5 out of 10. So thanks guys. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. If you didn't agree with me, tell me. I'm Zack from Battlefront Productions. Until next time.